Hello, fam. How are we all doing? Trust we are doing great. All right. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys on how to increase your breast milk supply. I call it the tips and tricks. Yes, or the methods you can apply for you to successfully breastfeed your baby. Be it if you are breastfeeding your baby exclusively or you are also adding formula feeding. Also, for a twin mom, yes, because I got a lot of questions. How do you do it? How do you do it? I have twin kids. How do I breastfeed them if I want to breastfeed them exclusively? You can also apply these methods that I used. These are based on personal experiences. As a mom of three that breastfed all her kids exclusively, so these are based on personal experiences on what I did that made me to have enough of milk supply. All right, I can tell you for the fact that as a twin mom, you can successfully breastfeed your twin babies. Yes, I know the stress. I know the stress of breastfeeding with just one baby. Talk more of twin babies. But if you can apply this method, these tips, I call it the tips and tricks for increased supply of milk. If you can apply these tips or these tricks, you can successfully breastfeed your babies. All right, so one of them is hydration. When I'm talking about hydration, I mean taking a lot of water. Drinking water cannot be overemphasized when you're breastfeeding your baby, especially when you're breastfeeding exclusively. You need to drink a lot of water. You need to make drinking water your hobby. For that period of 6 months, if you are exclusively breastfeeding your baby, yes, you need to make drinking water your hobby. If you are when I talk about hydration, I'm talking about drinking enough water. Making drinking water your hobby. It can never be overemphasized. When you drink a lot of water, you will notice that your breast milk is always available whenever your baby needs breast milk. All right. Another means of hydrating yourself is by taking juice. When I'm talking about juice, I'm talking about juice that you process by yourself, or you can get the ones that are written 100% juice. Make sure you are drinking a 100% juice. They are all liquids. They are all liquids. These things, you need them to hydrate yourself. Then in terms of we Nigerians, if you're a Nigerian watching me, you understand what I'm talking about. Pap, the watery pap. This pap is gotten from maize, fermented maize. Yes. So when you make it and it comes out in a watery form, it also helps to boost breast milk. All right, then that's for hydration. Let's talk about food that increases breast milk supply. One, I've noticed proteinous food. Any food that has high increase in protein, it tends to make the breast milk more thicker. These, remember I told you guys, these are based on personal experience. Whenever I engage more on proteinous food, be it meat, more of fish, more of legumes like our beans, whenever you take more protein, you found out that you have more thicker breast milk. It comes out, it won't be coming out so light like the watery um the watery part of breast milk. It comes out more thicker. So food also plays a role in how your breast milk comes out. So another food I'm going to be talking about is also our soup, our Nigerian soup. Sorry, this video is going to be for Nigerians. I'm sorry about that. But you can also include other tips that I'm going to mention here. So there is this particular soup I've noticed. We call it the bitter leaf soup. It tends to increase whenever I eat bitter leaf soup. The way the breast engorges with breast milk surprises me. So this bitter leaf soup engorges breast milk. If you're a breastfeeding mother, don't joke with bitter leaf soup. Don't joke with bitter leaf soup. So another food that I've also noticed that increases breast milk supply and improves its quality. You know, this breast milk has parts. We have the fore milk and then the hind milk, you understand? And then the fat. The fore milk are the watery parts of the breast milk. While the hind milk is the main milk. Those one contains high quantity of lactose. That's high quantity of this milk nutrients. Then before you can now find the fatty parts of the breast milk. That is why for your baby to get these three parts of the breast milk, you need that baby to latch on that particular breast for like it's written to latch for like 30 minutes or so thereabout. But we all know that latching on one particular breast milk for 30 minutes, it somehow is distressful. Yes. So I would say, based on experience, I would say making that baby to latch for like 15 to 20 minutes on a particular breast so that that baby can get all the nutrients, the formula, the hind milk, and the fatty part of the breast milk. Okay? Yes. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about are I've talked about the food. We have talked about the food, the proteinous food. That doesn't mean that carbohydrates. When I'm talking about carbohydrate, the starchy food, I'm talking about our rice, our grains, our oats, our wheats, and thereabouts, any form of carbohydrates. They also help to maintain this high increase of breast milk. And when you're eating this food, there's something I want to talk about. When you are breastfeeding, there's this misconception that you need to eat for two. You need to eat big quantity of food. No, when you eat a large quantity of meal like that, you are going to put up a lot of weight. Okay? It's so I will advise you eat bit by bit. You can decide to eat small quantity, small portion of food for a particular hour and then hydrate yourself well. Make sure you are being hydrated after each meal. Even when you've not eaten, make sure you are being hydrated. All right, so let's go into the fruits. Still on the tips on how to increase your breast milk supply. Fruits. One fruit I'm going to highly recommend is this. You see watermelon. Watermelon, I don't joke with watermelons because one, it contains high quantity of water despite the minerals despite the minerals or vitamins found in all fruits. Watermelons has high quantity of water, which also hydrates you as the mom and also makes the breast milk engorged. You see, so water. Another fruits that are also beneficial to breastfeeding mom is this coconut. Coconuts. In my own town, because I'm from Igbo tribe, in my own tribe, coconut is very good for breastfeeding mommies. I'm talking about the coconuts, the nuts itself. You can decide to blend these nuts and then sieve it and drink the coconut milk. Then the water of this coconut also, I've talked about it before, has this high quantity of vitamins, minerals, and also electrolytes that the breastfeeding mom needs. You see, so coconuts, watermelons, avocados, they are very essential. Let's talk about avocados. Avocados has this high quantity of fat. So it's also helpful for the breast milk. It has a lot of nutrients, packed nutrients in it. So when I'm talking about fruits for breastfeeding mommies, please don't joke with your watermelons, your avocados, and your coconuts. Other fruits like the apples, bananas, strawberries, your grapes, they are also okay. They are also beneficial because they contain a large quantity of these vitamins and nutrients. So don't joke with your breast milk. So don't joke with your with your fruit, sorry. All right, so let's dive into another trick. Another trick I'm going to be teaching you guys is enough rest. Enough rest. Have you noticed whenever you are tensed or whenever you're angry, your breast milk production reduces? There's this hormone that is responsible for anger or stress that suppresses the breastfeeding hormones. So don't joke with rest, adequate rest and sleep. Okay? If you're a breastfeeding mom, please always take a nap. Find time on your busy schedule, especially when you are breastfeeding exclusively. Find time on your busy schedule and have a rest. All right? Then the next tricks on how to increase your breast milk supply is this: latching on, making your baby to latch on your breast whenever the baby is hungry. Breastfeed this baby on demand, especially when they are of ages of 3 months. Breastfeed them whenever they call for hunger. Breastfeed them on demand. Breastfeeding your child on demand helps these hormones to keep on secreting breast milk. It helps the breast to keep on producing breast milk. And it also helps the milk duct, the oxytocin, which is also a breastfeeding hormone. It helps this hormone to this breast milk to keep on flowing for the baby. Make sure you latch your baby on your two breasts. Don't breastfeed only on one. Make sure the baby latches on the two breasts to get enough of breast milk. All right. So I think with these few tips and tricks, you were able to learn one or two things. It might help you. Remember, I said these are based on personal experiences. You can. All right. I'll always recommend breastfeeding your baby exclusively for 6 months. All right. I will always recommend that because breast milk has breast milk is so less stressful. It's so less stressful. It's very cheap. It's always available. It's free from any harmful bacteria. So this baby, you are sure that when this baby is sick, you, the mommy, is going to be held responsible. So why not breastfeed this child exclusively for the period of 6 months? Okay? So the importance of breast milk cannot be overemphasized. Let's keep on breastfeeding these kids exclusively. A brief recap of some tips and tricks that are helpful and beneficial for breastfeeding mom for increased supply of breast milk, especially for mommies that are breastfeeding exclusively. One is hydration. Don't joke with your water. I said make drinking water your hobby. Drink a lot of water. Two is the food you eat. Make sure the food you eat are packed with all the necessary nutrients. All right. But I recommend eating more of the proteinous food. All right. Then the third one is your fruits. In terms of hydration, look for 100% juice. There are many 100% juice that are good. Or rather, if you have a juice extractor, you can decide to make your own breastfeeding juice, your own natural juice or your smoothies. All these things are so helpful. Then less stress. Make sure you have enough rest and sleep as a breastfeeding mom. You will notice that once you sleep and have a rest, your breast milk comes together and then full and then becomes fuller again. All right. So the last but not the least tips or trick is this: make this baby to latch always on your breast. The more the baby suckles, the more this hormone, these um, hormones are produced. These hormones are responsible for milk formation and milk let down are formed. Let them latch on this breast whenever they need breast. Alright, this is where I'll be coming to the end of this video. If you find this video very helpful, please do well to share to your families and friends. Recommend this channel, alright? Please do well to subscribe and like my videos. See you guys on my next video.